The evening lights of New York shimmered against the glass walls of Blue Haven, one of the city's most luxurious restaurants. People in fine clothes moved gracefully inside, laughter mixing with the soft jazz playing in the background. Outside, however, the world was very different. Cold winds brushed across the sidewalk where a woman, wrapped in an old gray blanket, sat on the hard pavement. Her hands trembled as she held a cardboard sign that read, "Hungry and alone. Please help." Inside, a man named Daniel sat with his 6-year-old daughter, Lily. He was a successful businessman, the kind who never liked distractions, especially during dinner with his daughter. But tonight, something felt different. Lily's eyes weren't on her food. She was staring out the wide glass window, her gaze fixed on the woman sitting in the cold. "Daddy," she whispered softly, tugging at his sleeve. "Why is that lady sitting outside? She looks really sad." Daniel didn't even glance up from his phone. "Some people make bad choices, sweetheart. Don't look at her. Eat your food." But Lily didn't stop looking. The woman outside wasn't just sad, she looked broken. Every now and then, she shivered and covered her face, as if trying to hide from the world that had already forgotten her. Lily frowned. "Daddy, maybe she's hungry. We could give her something, right?" Daniel sighed, lowering his phone with mild irritation. "Lily, she's probably one of those people who beg for money and waste it. You can't help everyone. Now eat." Lily looked down at her plate but didn't touch the food. Her small hands clenched together, and her bright blue eyes shimmered with tears. She didn't understand how someone could sit outside in the cold while others enjoyed warm meals inside. Minutes passed. The waiter brought desserts, people laughed, and music played on. But Lily couldn't ignore the woman outside. She pressed her tiny palm against the glass, watching as the woman struggled to light a small candle beside her feet, maybe for warmth, maybe for comfort. Finally, Lily turned to her father again. "Daddy," she said, her voice trembling, "can I take my food to her?" Daniel frowned, startled by her persistence. "Lily, that's not safe. You don't talk to strangers." "But she's not a stranger," Lily said simply. "She's someone's mom. Maybe someone forgot her." Daniel froze at those words. Something in Lily's innocent voice hit him deeply. Someone's mom. Someone forgotten. He shook his head slightly, forcing a smile. "Finish your dinner, sweetheart. We'll talk about it later." But Lily didn't finish her food. Instead, when Daniel turned to take a call, she carefully packed her small slice of bread and half her dessert into a napkin. She slipped off her chair and quietly walked toward the restaurant door. "Lily." Daniel's voice rose as he noticed her at the entrance, but before he could stop her, she was already outside. The cold wind hit her face, but she didn't stop. She walked toward the homeless woman, her little boots splashing through a puddle on the sidewalk. The woman looked up, startled. "Oh, hi, sweetheart," she whispered in a raspy voice. Her eyes were tired but kind. "Hi," Lily said with a shy smile. "You look hungry. I brought you some food." The woman blinked, stunned. Her lips quivered as she reached for the napkin in Lily's small hands. You did this for me." Lily nodded. "You shouldn't be hungry. My daddy says people make bad choices, but I think maybe people just need someone to care." The woman's eyes filled with tears. She covered her mouth, unable to speak. For a moment, she looked as if she might collapse, not from weakness, but from the weight of a kindness she hadn't felt in years. By then, Daniel had rushed outside, his expensive coat blowing in the wind. "Lily, what did I tell you about?" He stopped mid-sentence when he saw the woman. She looked up at him, recognition flickering in her eyes. Daniel froze. His throat went dry. He knew that face. Beneath the dirt and exhaustion was someone he had seen years ago. Someone from a past he had buried under success. "Daniel," the woman whispered, disbelief shaking her voice. He stared at her, unable to move. "Emma," he breathed. Lily looked between them, confused. "Daddy, you know her." Daniel swallowed hard. He hadn't heard that name in years. Emma, his college sweetheart, the woman he once loved deeply, the one who'd disappeared when life became too hard for both of them. She had been kind, gentle, and full of dreams. And now she was sitting here, begging on the street. I didn't know, he stammered. I thought you left town. Emma laughed softly, but her voice cracked. I tried. Life wasn't kind to me, Daniel. I lost my job, then my home. I didn't want anyone to see me like this. Lily's eyes widened. You knew my mommy. Daniel knelt beside her. No, sweetheart, she was someone very special a long time ago. Emma looked at Lily, this innocent child with her father's blue eyes, and smiled through her tears. You have a beautiful daughter. Daniel felt a deep ache in his chest. He had built an empire, but right now, standing before the woman he once loved, he felt like the poorest man alive. Lily tugged at his sleeve. Daddy, can we help her? Please. Daniel's eyes softened. For years, he had ignored people like Emma, people who reminded him of his own failures, of times he had struggled. But now, his daughter's voice echoed through his heart like truth itself. Yes, he whispered. We can. He took off his coat and gently wrapped it around Emma's shoulders. She trembled, tears rolling down her cheeks. Come with us, Daniel said quietly. We'll get you something warm to eat. Emma shook her head. Daniel, you don't have to. I know I don't, he interrupted softly. But I want to. Inside the restaurant, people turned to look as Daniel walked in with a homeless woman and his little girl holding her hand. The waiter hesitated, unsure of what to do, but Daniel gave a look that silenced all judgment. He guided Emma to their table. Lily grinned proudly and slid her plate toward her. You can have mine first, she said cheerfully. Emma looked at her with trembling lips. Thank you, sweetheart. As the woman ate slowly, Daniel sat quietly, lost in thought. He remembered the times he had been broke, hungry, and desperate, and how easily he had forgotten those feelings once money started to come. When Emma finished eating, she wiped her eyes and whispered, You don't know what this means to me. Daniel leaned forward. Maybe not, but I want to. Lily smiled. Daddy says we can help people. We should always help people, right? Daniel met her gaze, and something inside him shifted. Yes, sweetheart, always. The night went on quietly. After dinner, Daniel arranged a hotel room for Emma and promised to help her get back on her feet. She tried to protest, but Lily hugged her tiny arms around her waist and whispered, Your family now. Emma broke down completely. She hadn't heard the word, family, in years. Outside, snow began to fall, gentle and white, like a new beginning. As they stood by the car, Emma turned to Daniel. You've changed, she said softly. He smiled faintly. No, my daughter changed me. Lily giggled and squeezed his hand. See, Daddy, being kind makes people happy. Daniel knelt beside her, tears glistening in his eyes. Yes, my love, and you taught me that tonight. Before getting into the car, Lily turned toward the camera with her bright little smile and said softly, If you believe kindness can change the world, don't forget to like this video and subscribe to our channel, Timeless Voices. The car drove off, leaving behind the place where one small act of kindness had rewritten 3 lives. Days turned into weeks. Daniel helped Emma find work at one of his offices, and soon she was earning enough to stand tall again. But what surprised him most was how quickly Lily grew attached to her, visiting her every weekend, bringing her flowers and drawings. One afternoon, Emma came to Daniel's office. She stood at the door quietly as he worked, then placed an envelope on his desk. What's this? He asked. My first paycheck, she said with a smile. You helped me when I had nothing. Let me take you and Lily out to dinner. My treat this time. Daniel chuckled softly, warmth in his voice. You don't have to. I know, Emma said gently. But I want to. That evening, they sat together at a small cafe, not fancy, not grand, but full of laughter. Lily sat between them, swinging her legs, humming to herself. Emma leaned toward Daniel. You know, that night, when Lily brought me food, I thought it was just a moment of kindness. I didn't realize it would change everything. Daniel nodded. Neither did I. He looked at his daughter, whose innocent heart had done what all the money in the world could never do, heal broken souls. As the sun dipped below the skyline, Lily looked up at both of them and smiled. Daddy, can we always help people like her? Daniel smiled softly. Always, sweetheart, always. Lily grinned, waving at the camera one last time. If you believe in kindness, love, and second chances, don't forget to like and subscribe to Timeless Voices. Let's share stories that warm hearts everywhere. The screen slowly faded to black as soft piano music played. The final image lingered, a child's small hand holding a woman's weathered one, both glowing under the golden streetlight. And in that simple touch, the message was clear: sometimes, the smallest hearts make the biggest difference.